Welcome to Axis! Time for game time with the Beans.
The Beans! Yes. Congratulations to Pastor Jordan on winning last week's shot challenge. Good work, good work, good work. And this week we have a new challenge. What is it, Bethany?
This week we are doing trick shots. So post your best trick shot. It could be anything inside your house or outside.
Yes. In honor of Dude Perfect. Yes.
Think
Best
along
trick
the lines
shots.
of Dude Perfect. And we want to see the best trick shot. Anyone can enter. If you're an Axis student, a leader, someone who goes to Grace, or just if you found these videos
That's
and
right,
want to
sure.
post your own. We want some more exciting entertainment that
Yes.
is fun to watch.
Everyone go ahead and post.
We don't care if they're terrible.
Make
Post
your
a
videos.
video.
It's funny. You can do bloopers. Best trick shots. We have a few we're going to show right now.
Roof ball.
Spike hoop ball.
Yes!
And now, the tractor roll shot.
The prize for the best one is the Axis Green t-shirt, limited edition. And I'll give you a roll of toilet paper. Don't forget to film your best trick shot and then post it. You need to use the hashtag Axis Trick Shot so we can find them and then vote. And we'll announce next week's winner, or this week's winner next week.
Where should they post them, Bethany?
You can post to Facebook, Instagram, TikTok,
AOL, Minesweeper,
I won't check those.
wherever you want to go.
Post them so we can all enjoy it, and feel free to send me your vote if you saw one you really liked.
Yes, we expect a lot.
All right.
Good luck.
Slow clap for Pastor Jordan.
Thanks, Beans. Thanks, guys, for the slow clap. Hey, I'm so thankful for the Beans, even leading us through game time, throughout this time where we can't be together. And so jump in for this challenge. Let's see some trick shots. We'd love to post some of those in the video for next week. We have a special guest with us this week for Pop Stories. I reached out, pulled in a favor from Dave Nicodemus from the Mark and Dave show at Momentum Youth Conference. And he is going to bring us our pop story this week. It's a riveting one from Frozen 2, so tune in, guys. It's going to be awesome.
Again you're gone, off on a different path than mine. I'm left behind, wondering if I should follow. You had to go, and of course it's always fine. I probably could catch up with you tomorrow. But is this what it feels like, to be growing apart? When did I become the one who's always chasing your heart? Now I turn around and find I am lost in the woods. North is south, right is left. When you're gone, I'm the one who sees you home, but now I'm lost in the woods. And I don't know what path you're on. I'm lost in the woods. Up till now, the next step was a question of how. I never thought it was a question of whether. Who am I if I'm not your guy? Where am I if we're not together forever? Now I know you're my true north, 'cause I am lost in the woods. Up is down, day is night. When you're not there, oh, you're my only landmark. So I'm lost in the woods, wondering if you still care. But I'll wait for a sign that I'm on your path, 'cause you are mine. Until then, I'm lost in the woods. 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 I'm lost in the woods.
Well, thanks, Dave. Really appreciate that. Just a riveting story. So, guys, really excited. We're going to be worshiping together now. We have the Shank Boys. They're going to be leading us worship from their living room. I want to encourage you, this is a great opportunity for you not to be passive in your worship. Stand up wherever you are and worship. We're going to flood Elkhart County with worship together as these two guys lead us in worship. So I want to encourage you, where you are right now, don't be passive. Be someone that's willing to sing and praise Jesus. This is a great opportunity for us as we're scattered to be worshiping God, to push back darkness with our voices. So I want to encourage you to do that. And then after we sing together, Pastor Jordan's going to come and share a message in our series, Did You Know? Stuff About Jesus. Really excited about this. Tune in, guys.
Welcome. Axis, my people, I love you. Hey, we're going to sing a song, Waymaker. We're going to worship. I hope by now you know this song. We've been singing it and proclaiming it all over the place lately, and it's just a dynamic song proclaiming who God is. I'm going to read a couple scriptures before we start, and it may go a different way than normal. Usually we would be talking about scriptures that describe who God is, but I'm going to describe here who we are in Him. That's where I'm going to end up. But anyway, listen to this in John. You can start playing if you want. In John 1, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through Him all things were made. Without Him nothing was made that has been made. In Him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. Oh boy. There was a man sent from God whose name was John. He came as a witness to testify concerning that light, so that through him all might believe. He himself was not the light. He came only as a witness to the light. The true light that gives light to everyone was coming into the world. He was in the world, and though the world was made through him, the world did not recognize him. He came to that which was his own, but his own did not receive him. Yet to all who did receive him, to those who believed in his name, that's us, he gave the right to become children of God, children born not of natural descent, nor of human decision, or a husband's will, but born of God. The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. We have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only Son who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. I love that. We who believed. We'll move on here to 1 Peter 2. He's talking about us again. It's because of what God did, because of who he is. These scriptures are true. But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light. Once you were not a people, but now you are the people of God. Once you had not received mercy, but now you have received mercy. Let's remember who we are in Christ. It's because of him. It's because of the Waymaker. It's because of the Promise Keeper. It's because of the light in the darkness. It's because of my God that we are that chosen people. We are his precious possession. Sing our King this night. Axis, let's sing it out wherever you are tonight. Let's give him praise. He's right there with you. There in the midst of your troubles and wherever you're at, he's right there. Let's sing along. You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. You are Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. You are Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. You are here, touching every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, healing every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, you're turning lives around. I worship you, I worship you. You are here, you're mending every heart. I worship you, I worship you. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. 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 It's who you are. It's who you are. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. 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 Waymaker, miracle work, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. Sing it one more time. Waymaker, waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. It's who you are. You make a way where there is no way. You shine your light in the darkest place of our lives. Lord, we ask that you would shine even brighter this night. Shine on the hearts that are seeing this video, that are worshiping you right now. God, we trust you. God, we trust you with access. We trust you with each young man and each young woman. God, we love you. Have your way in us. Speak to us tonight. Pierce our hearts with your love. Make a way where there is no way. In Jesus' name, Lord. Amen. We love you. Thanks for worshiping with us.
Did you know that Jesus was sent? a lot of times people choose to focus on the miracles and stuff that he did, which is really natural because they're really exciting. I mean, he raised a guy from the dead. There was a guy that showed that couldn't see, and he gave him sight. There was a woman who no doctor could heal, and they couldn't figure out what was going on, and he healed her. He took bread and fish and made it a lot more bread and fish. It's incredible stories and really exciting, but that isn't exactly why Jesus came. In fact, he himself said, I came to seek and save the lost. And he said that when he was hanging out with the tax collector, who the religious leaders at the time felt very strongly that he shouldn't be hanging out with them, with this guy. But he said, like, I came to seek and save the lost. And he invited his followers to do the same thing. In fact, after his death and resurrection, his disciples were hiding in a room, and they were facing a lot of uncertainty. So like maybe it was a room like this, like I'm in my office right now, and maybe the lights were darker, maybe the door was locked, and they're facing a lot of uncertainty, and it might be tight, and they're just like wondering like what is going to happen, like what is our future going to look like, and their hope might be dwindling down. And all of a sudden, with the doors locked and maybe the lights were low, all of a sudden Jesus just shows up and he says, hey, peace be with you. And then he shows them his scars and from being crucified. And he shows them where he got stabbed with a spear when he was crucified. And he says, and then he says again, hey, peace be with you. And then he says, so as the Father sent me, so also am I sending you. He sent them, and this might sound like just this big moment for them, but it was probably actually a reminder for them. It was probably actually a reminder of some stuff that he had said earlier to them. So let's try to jump into the context of one of those stories real quick. In Matthew 16, Jesus has been traveling with his disciples, and they end up in this region called Caesarea Philippi. And within this region, it was actually believed that the gates of Hades, or the gates of the underworld, was there. And so here's a picture of it, and it was this mountain with this kind of cliff face and a cave, and they believed that this was the actual entrance to the gates of Hades. And it was this symbol of evil and power, and it led to the religion of that time and in that region called paganism, which was a very self-serving, all about me religion and belief system that offered no hope to the future. And so evil was kind of running rampant in that area, and they would have known that going into that. So that's kind of some context for us as we look in and we dive into this passage of scripture. So I'm going to read Matthew 16, and I'm going to start in verse 13. It said, when Jesus came to the region of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, who do people say the Son of Man is? They replied, some say John the Baptist. Others say Elijah, and still others Jeremiah or one of the prophets. But what about you, he asked, who do you say I am? Simon Peter answered, you are the Messiah, the Son of the living God. Now, this is a big deal. There's no getting around this part. And we kind of we know the end of the story. We know that Jesus is the Messiah. We know that he's the Son of God. We know that he is God. But for Peter to say it out loud was a big deal, because they'd been waiting, the Jews had been waiting for forever for the Messiah to come. And here comes Jesus along, and Peter says, I know that you're the Messiah. I know that you're the Son of God, and I know that all the things that were said about you, they're going to come true. You're going to set up this kingdom. You're going to set up the church, and it's going to be amazing. And he was so excited, and he was excited to declare that in that moment. And then Jesus says this in verse 17. It says, blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for this was not revealed to you by flesh and blood, but by my Father in heaven. And I tell you that you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not overcome it. It says the gates of Hades will not overcome it. And he says, he invites Peter in, and in turn invites the disciples and those that are following him in. He says, I'm going to set up this church on you. You're going to help lead it. You're going to help me lead it, Peter. And I'm going to set it up, and the gates of Hades will not prevail against it. Now let's just speculate for a minute. That they were in this region, right? They were in this region of Caesarea Philippi, where the gates of Hades were, and maybe, just maybe, they were within shot of it. So let's just pretend that the Gog pit out there, that's the gates of Hades, right? The picture of the rock and the mountain and all that stuff, that's over there. And Jesus and his disciples are close by, and maybe they can see it. They can at least point to the direction that it is, because they all know where it is. And Jesus says, hey, I'm going to set up my church. this thing that you've read about, you've heard about for years and years and years to come. I'm going to set up the kingdom of God. And when I do, like the gates of Hades, this symbol of power over there that you see, this symbol of like evil, and you don't feel like you have any hope against it. This idea of people in mind, like you don't feel like you're gonna win it all. Like that's not gonna prevail against it. We're gonna win this. And so many times, and he invites his disciples in to the mission, and just like he was sent by the Father, he is sending us out, and he is sending his disciples out. And he invites them into this big movement. And sometimes it's easy for us. We live in Elkhart County. We might be focused here and might be able to think about like the last conversation we had with a friend about Jesus, and maybe it didn't go well, and it was just this up and down thing. But like we're part of a much bigger movement than what's just happening in Elkhart County. Like we believe God is moving in Elkhart County. We believe the best days of the church are ahead. But like sometimes it can be discouraging. But remember that you're part of a bigger movement, a global movement, that the churches in China and Asia and across, like our Asia's Hope and our mission points that we get to connect with all over the world. We're part of this global movement. And just like Jesus said, like the gates of Hades won't prevail, that eventually fell, that mindset fell, that religion collapsed. Now it's just a pile of rubble. And here we are, thriving. And I think, and as just as Jesus was inviting his disciples in to send them out, I think he wants to send us out too. I know he wants to send us out too. And it would be easy to think right now, what everything going on, this is just a waste of time. Like we're quarantined. This isn't what we want. This isn't what we planned for. This isn't how I wanted my senior year to go. This isn't how I wanted the spring to go. I had a big track season ahead of me. The musical like got canceled. Like graduation. Like what's gonna happen? Like there's so much uncertainty, and this is just a waste of time. And I just have to stay inside. I don't get to see my friends. It's horrible. But what if Jesus is sending you into this moment too? What if this wasn't like purely a time off and purely a time just to slow down, like we talked about last week with Pastor Charlie, where you have to slow down? But like, what if Jesus wanted to use this time in our lives to send us out? We live in the most connected time ever. we can connect with people over our phones and through social media. We can be an encouragement. What if you chose to be a hope giver to your friends? You woke up in the morning and said, Lord, bring people to mind that I need to pray for. And let them know, hey, like I was praying for you today. The Lord brought you to mind. Or to just say like, hey, like how are you doing with all this stuff? Reach out to some of your friends. How are you doing with all this stuff? This is kind of a weird time. Like, do you feel anxious about this right now? Or what if you were to like try to encourage your parents? Guess what? Like you might be feeling anxious, but I bet your parents are probably feeling a little bit anxious in this time too. And you could maybe reach out to them and try to encourage them and help out around the house or whatever. They didn't pay me to say that. They didn't like slide a thing in. That was a thought. Maybe we can help out around the home. What if we were to try to be people of encouragement? I have a friend, Shanae Miller, and she and Nick Miller go to Grace Community. And Shanae, she was in her office, and a coworker came in, and she said, and her coworker was just kind of worried and said like, hey, like I don't know what's gonna happen in the future. Like everything that's going on, like this just feels wild. Like what's gonna happen? And Shanae was able to say like, I don't really know what's gonna happen either, but my hope is in Jesus. And got to share like her hope within the future, and that's why she was able to stay calm. And it was a great moment to just be able to tell them why she had confidence. What if we were able to do that with our friends? And another way, like what if God was using this moment, this time in our life, to prepare us for the next phase of life? What if you were to take your time? Obviously, you're going to do schoolwork, you're going to watch some shows, you're going to play video games, read a book, whatever. You're going to make some TikTok videos and all that stuff. But like, what if you were also to use some of your time to get to know Jesus? If you're a Christ follower, like, don't you want to get to know Jesus? Read the Gospel of Mark. Just see his story, see stuff he did. See the miracles he did and what he said and the way he lived. Get to know Jesus. This has kind of been my harping point, but like, let's redeem our time. We don't have time to waste. We have time to redeem. So let's use our time wisely, even this, because in 10, 20 years, 30 years, you're going to think back to this and how you used your time. And hopefully it can be kind of restful, and hopefully you have memories with your family and you can do some of those things. But also let's redeem our time and use this to propel us into the next season of life. So there's gonna be some questions. I would love for you to process them. Maybe in your journal, maybe a time with the Lord. You just kind of ask questions and take time in quiet and think about it. But also with your chat group leaders or your friends or your parents. So let's process this. Let's not waste this time, even though it feels like a waste of time. Because God is sending us into this moment, just like He sent Jesus.
And now, the tractor roll shot.
I'll actually look and aim this time.
Okay.
Gotta say it again.
I know, I'm just trying to make